Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Tea Time with Sahdi and Omni, where we drink the tea and spill the tea about our weekly spiritual practices. I'm Omni.
And I'm Sahdi.
And today's episode is all about spiritual baths. We're going to go over why you would need one, different kinds of ones that you can take, base ingredients, how to take one, and signs that they work.
Spiritual baths have been used for centuries across cultures as a way to cleanse and heal and empower the body, mind, and spirit. And they're not like regular baths. And regular baths are meant to clean you for your hygiene and stuff like that. But spiritual baths have been used for centuries across cultures as a way to cleanse and heal and empower the mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to be using it to get clean, to wash your body and stuff like that. Spiritual baths usually involve sacred elements like herbs and salts and oils and crystals and prayers to energetically purify and uplift your aura. And we're going to talk about everything you need to know.
Cleaning your body is just a happy side effect.
Yeah.
So the purpose of spiritual baths can be used in so many vast ways. So you can remove stagnant or negative energy. You can cleanse after a breakup, loss, or conflict.
Right, like psychic debris or spiritual blockages.
Yes. You can use it to enhance spiritual connection and intuition.
Yes, and you can use it for like healing, emotional, like you said, after breakup.
Self-love after a breakup, or to attract new love, abundance, or protection.
Yes. And for manifestations. So you can use it to attract love and abundance and protection and spiritual gifts.
Or to prepare for a new chapter in life, which the new moon, birthdays, or major transitions are a great time for that one.
Right. And then initiation and activations.
Yes.
You can use moon water or sun activated water that's embedded with sun codes. We just last episode did sun codes, and you can use that water, and it can be used for spiritual awakening or connecting with your guides or strengthening your intuition.
Yes. I've talked about this in previous episodes. I take baths probably every night. That is my go-to where I get downloads. That's where I got my spiritual name, was when I was in a bath meditating. It's such an amazing, easy tool to utilize.
Yeah, it's like a conductor.
Exactly.
And then you can also use it for your chakras.
Yes.
Right? So if you're having a blockage in a specific chakra, you can use it to clear your energetic imbalance.
Yes.
And you can help open it up, especially if you're working with a chakra that has to do with water.
We just had an episode on dragons. You can connect to a dragon. We talked about elemental dragons and water dragons, connect through
your
that.
Emotional energy.
Or spirit guide that is connected to a water element.
Yeah.
So much. There's so many.
So water acts as a conduit for energy that can be used for everything.
Yes.
It's just like the base of it is your water.
It's your main ingredient.
Right, your main ingredient. And then if you don't have access to a bathtub and you cannot take baths for any reason, if you're disabled or you just don't have a bathtub in your house and you can't do it, you can take sponge baths.
Yeah.
So anything that we're talking about today, you can incorporate that by boiling up or using water in a basin or some kind of sacred pot that you use, and get washcloths and use those to wipe your body down.
That's one of the services you offer, right?
Yeah. I do spiritual sponge baths for people. And with that, I incorporate frequency. I use singing bowls and tuning forks and sacred herbs and resins. And then at the end, I go through and I use my own energy and the herbs and water to do a spiritual sponge bath for people. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
The responses that I've gotten from doing this are definitely not from this earth. They are so high vibrational. I could tell stories, but we only have a limited time on tea time. But definitely connect with ancestors and past life and remove deep-rooted blockages and pain and things from people. Just blessed to have been given the gift and knowledge to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the things that we're going to be talking about, you can use that in a spiritual sponge bath for yourself. Anything that we're talking about.
Yes.
So the next thing that I feel like is a main ingredient is salt.
Yes.
And you can use sea salt, Epsom salt, pink Himalayan salt.
Kitchen salt.
Yep, it can remove negativity and purifies the aura.
I put Epsom salt in my bath every single time.
And when you're done with a ritual, you can just use salt and water to kind of seal in afterwards too. So you can use it in your bath in the beginning, and you can also use it afterwards after you're doing some kind of ritual or releasing. You can use salt water to seal it afterward. I use cold water.
Are you talking about putting in a spray bottle? Because we've talked about that before.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too. Or you can just use a washcloth or a spray bottle or something like that. Spray bottle's cool though.
We've talked about that to like uplift your energy and stuff using salt water. If you can't get to the sea to cleanse yourself with seawater, that you can just put some sea salt into a spray bottle and spray yourself down. So a lot of people don't want to put a bunch of herbs into their bathtub because it's a pain in the butt to strain. So you can get a mesh ball that you put them in. I have one. Or you can get a tea bag. Or actually, this is a trick Sahdi taught me where you can boil them on the stove, strain that water out directly into your tub. And that's actually something that Sahdi did the first time she came to my house.
I make spiritual baths, and that's how I have you make them at home.
Yeah.
So you make them like a tea. You pour the contents into the pot and bring it to a boil, turn it down to simmer for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you strain it into your bath.
So you don't have a bunch of junk trying to go down your
Right. And a little bit's fine in the bath. A few little flakes is going to be fine. It's actually better that way. But yeah, you can use dried herbs and flowers, and different plants have distinct spiritual properties. So you could do your research. It's really fun to look and see what kinds of plants and flowers and roots and stuff like that you can use in your bath to really help bring that spiritual energy into the bath that you're taking.
Yeah. Like if you're wanting a self-love bath, what do you think about when you think about loving?
Roses.
Exactly. And when it's self-love, for some reason, I always think about pink roses. I've done self-loving baths when I felt like I needed some TLC for myself, like the pink flowers, and you get essential oils.
And then when you're thinking about if you want to be calm and protected, you think about lavender or something like that. So you can go with your own intuition. If you're thinking about opening your third eye, maybe mugwort or something like that.
Yes, blue lotus.
So yeah, really think about what your intention is for the bath, because it makes the difference. That's the important part.
Yeah, and it really is your intuition, because if you don't resonate with lavender, you hate lavender, don't put it in your bath.
Exactly.
It's just going to make you irritated.
Yeah, and then just think about, okay, so with this bath, I'm going in with the intent to break a hex or a curse that I have on.
Yes.
Trust your intuition, or you can go online and you can look up what are all of the herbs that break hexes and curses. You can do that and then pick which ones resonate with you. You might even have a few around your house. To cleanse negative energy, for instance, you can use sea salt, rosemary, lemon, and hyssop. Boom. That's super easy and it gets the job done. Or if you want to do protection, you could use black salt, rue, and bay leaves. Just really think about what you want to do with your bath and then research it.
And find the ingredients you probably already have in your house.
Yeah. And sometimes you can even just use herbs you probably have in your cabinet, like rosemary, bay leaves, things you can get at the grocery store.
If you want to draw some money in, get that cinnamon in that bath.
Yep, exactly. That's part of it too.
Yeah.
And then you can look into crystals too.
Yes.
Because putting crystals in your bath will amplify your intention as well.
Make sure they're water safe.
Yeah,
some crystals
of course
are not water safe. So do your research. We say this every time.
Yeah.
You can also use candles, which I use a lot of.
Oh, yes. Don't forget to set up the energy in your bathroom or your space if you're doing a sponge bath. Clean your bathroom.
Yeah.
Light candles. Put some music on. Make it sacred for yourself.
Listen to some frequency music to do with your intention.
And while you're gathering all your herbs and your crystals, listen to music that uplifts your spirit. Whatever it is, if you're trying to gain power, listen to drum beats, listen to some shamanic music or something that really makes you feel powerful. I don't give a fuck. Nicki Minaj, whatever it is that makes you feel confident and powerful, if that's what you're going into that with, amp yourself up.
Yes.
Or if you're trying to feel divine, soft, and feminine, go into
Florence and the
something with that.
Machine.
Yes. Really put yourself into that headspace before you get into the bath. Because this is a ritual.
Yes.
This is something sacred. This is a spiritual bath. This is not just you getting in the bath and being like, okay, do your shit.
Yeah. And now I feel better.
Different frequencies do different things. You put it on a drum, right? And have a certain frequency and it makes a sacred geometry pattern. That was in a past episode, but you can also do that with water. So you can send frequency into water and it also makes geometric sacred geometry patterns.
Yes.
And our body is made of water. So putting on different frequencies like 963 hertz for DNA activation, 528 for heart healing. Put those frequencies on loud in the bathroom, and the water will absorb those frequencies.
It's a conduit.
It is. And just like you said, candles, incense, air energy, fire energy.
So you can burn herbs. I've done that before, where I had a burning bowl in the bath with me.
Oh, I do that too.
Yeah.
So when I put together my rituals, I'll use some of the herbs that I boil up and put them into my bath. And then I'll take a little pinch of that and put it in my burning bowl. So I'll be burning the herbs and soaking in them.
Yeah.
And you can drink most of them too. Most of the herbs that I use, you can drink as well.
Oh, yeah. You can put them into a tea and drink that. I've done that in a bath. Obviously, this is tea time. We drink tea.
And you could even go a step farther and get one of those bath caddies. Have a glass of wine.
Yes. You can read a book for a little bit while you're soaking in it. Maybe like a love novel or something if you're wanting like self-love.
Bring your self-affirmations in there. Write a love letter to yourself, poetry.
Or if you're doing shadow work, you can write a letter to your younger self.
Bitch.
Yes. If you're looking for more self-love, you can look into the mirror.
Yeah, bring a little mirror in there and look at yourself. If you're trying to open yourself up to loving your body more, there's no better place than naked in the bathtub.
Yes.
Because you can put your foot up, look at yourself.
Yeah. Look at your yoni.
Tell yourself, look how fucking bad you are, bitch.
Yes.
Right? Look how beautiful you are. Look how handsome you are. You're perfect. And tell yourself these things with the mirror. Do mirror magic in the bathtub.
Yeah. And the water just enhances it. Hell yeah.
And water's like a mirror too.
It is.
It's reflective. So you're reflecting that energy back to you while you're reflecting it through the mirror. And as you're speaking it, you're watching yourself say it.
And then you're absorbing it into your body.
Oh my God. Yes. Do it. Oh, and listen to some 528 frequencies. Holy shit.
Be on fire.
Oh my God. Bring a little rose in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, magic wand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about baths. Okay, hold on. I love tea time. This is why I love tea time.
Tea time.
When you're doing these spiritual baths, there's one last thing that I really want you to remember is that anything that you're feeling inside of these baths is normal.
Yes.
Because I've been studying herbs and making baths for a really long time. So if anything we're talking about now, it seems too complicated, or you would rather just have someone make a bath for you, you can go to my website. It's Sacredflame.love. And I have the baths on my website that you could buy. They're only $25. I try to keep them really reasonably priced so everybody can afford them. If you don't see one on there that resonates with you, I can make a custom bath for you. My phone number is on there. You can hit me up. You can text me. You can send me an email and just let me know what's going on in your life. And I will custom make one for you for $25.
Yeah.
I'll send a letter attached with it, letting you know what's in it and with some directions in it to help you, some words of affirmation that can help you with it, to help guide you through it. The main thing that I've seen through my journey with my spiritual baths, from my personal use with them and the hundreds of people that have used them, is to trust your intuition and let spirit guide you in that bath. It's transformative and it's specific to each person. I have a lot of people say, hey, is this normal that this happened to me? Like I busted out crying and I couldn't stop crying. Yes, that's normal.
Yeah.
Your body was releasing toxic energy. That was healing for you. One time somebody told me that they released so much energy in the bathtub that they actually got into an accident. Like within 10 minutes, she jumped out of the bath and she was telling her husband, oh my God, I feel so good. And she was so happy. And she jumped in the car and hit another car almost immediately.
Oh my God.
She didn't get hurt or anything, but they called me and they were both laughing because she wasn't adjusted to the new energy. Yeah. She had been so used to having this heavy weight on her. It was released in the bathtub and she didn't give herself time to
acclimate.
She just felt so good. She just felt so good. You know, you might cry, you might laugh. I've had people go into deep trance and have visions and remember past lives. And you never know what's going to happen to you. It could be really subtle or it could be very intense. Because the way that I do my baths, I really research and the herbs that I use are compatible with each other.
The bath that you did for me was one to break a hex.
Yeah.
Because somebody in my life had made it known that they were putting a hex
Yeah,
on.
you had a hex on you for sure.
When I was up there taking the bath with all the ingredients she had brought over and boiled and whatnot for me, and she explained, visualize as the bathtub's draining that everything's coming out of you, kind of like a black ink. And that's what I did, and submerged myself. And the one thing that she's like, don't forget to do this with a hex breaking bath. When the water's draining, you take a jar, fill it up with that bath water, and put the lid back on it. And then we went to a crossroads.
Yeah, any railroad track is a crossroads. So we went to the railroad track.
We walked out there and threw it over the shoulder, not supposed to look back, hear it crash, and the hex is broken. And I tell you what, I didn't realize how heavy that energy had been on me until it was lifted, and I was vibrating. I can't even explain it. You know, when you're super excited, let's say you're a sports fan and your team wins, or you're a mom and your kid wins a game, you know, that just high vibrational. Yes, that's what it felt like. So for me, that was a sign in itself that it worked. I didn't need any more proof.
In normal circumstances, we're not saying go to the railroad tracks and break a glass.
Yeah.
But this was a ritual. This was a spell. And this was something that needed to be broken. In ordinary times, you can just take the bath and you can release it and have it go down the drain. With most spells and rituals, you can just let it go down the drain.
Yeah.
Or you can take it, some of the bath water, and you can release it into a garden if you want something to grow, like self-love. And there's different things that you can do naturally.
Yes.
But with this specific one, and if you have a serious hex or curse, and even if you don't buy my product and you make your own hex and cursing, take a glass bottle, put the cap on it, take it to a crossroads and throw it over your shoulder, and do not cross back over it. Make sure it's in a place where you don't go very often, where you're not going to keep crossing back over it, and don't look back, walk away from it. And when you hear that glass break, whatever the bath didn't take care of, that breaking of the glass does. And you just let the universe take care of it from there.
I'm living proof that
word is gone.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's what brought Sahdi back into my life, because here we are vibing high, learning new things every day.
Yeah. And other signs that they work is just you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel an emotional release. You might start having more vivid dreams afterwards, days later. You can start just feeling more mentally clear or getting intuitive messages.
Oh, yeah. I definitely went through a huge spiritual awakening after that. I was like up the rabbit hole.
Yep. And so you'll know that it worked.
Yeah.
Usually you know that it's working while you're in the bath. And there's like a plethora of different things that could happen inside the bath. And then sometimes you'll start to notice things days later. And you're just like, I know it was because of the bath. You just instinctively know. That's how you know that you were on the right track. You picked the right herbs and you set the right intention.
Yeah. And as long as you're following your intuition, you really don't go wrong. Follow your intuition, know your ingredients, and you're good.
Yeah. And if you just want to do like a simple little one, lemon peels, salt, throw some Florida water in there.
Yeah.
That's a really good one too for just a basic little cleanse.
Yeah. And that is all the tea we have to spill for this episode. Make sure you remember to keep your minds open.
Namaste, bitches.